All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. No tease, we going off the top, straight freestyle. But it's easy, man. You know, it was only a couple games, 2 games. You know, so I'm
Right.
here with my guy, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the multi-time flag football champion, Daniel. What is going on, man?
What's up, Carl? What's up, man? Listen, it's a lot. It's a lot going on, man. It's just you see the
You
deep part, the
right?
deep side, because I didn't know what I wanted to talk about first. Because we could easily talk about how if you want to go, a short story with Commanders, Eagles, and then jump into the Chiefs. But I just feel
Wherever you
like
want to start, feel free. Feel free to dive in, get your shit off.
so with the Commanders, Eagles. Let's start there, man. Um, Good. It was a good game by Saquon and the Eagles.
Yes,
I just feel like
I should have
if
stuck
the
with my
question
gut.
was
Fuck.
no, well, if you want to go more of did the Eagles win or did the Commanders lose the game,
Well,
I would probably go more off of Commanders probably shot themselves in the foot in that game. Because I
hmm.
don't want, so I figured that's what's going to be the topic of discussion with everybody. Actually, the refs in the Chiefs game took a lot of the topic of discussion, which which of course with Patrick Mahomes the Chiefs it is, but I figure more people, which you do got your silent crowd of people who are now talking about the Eagles and that I think that 55 points really screwed a lot of people's mindset on who the Eagles really are. Like
Yeah,
so
big
now,
time.
yeah, and it even screwed with Vegas because now I feel like the spread is closer than I feel like it was going to open up at. So, would you really dive deep into that game is what 13-12,
Hmm.
and then Jaden Daniels doesn't get the ball back again until it's like 27 to 12.
Yep.
Yeah, two crucial fumbles before he could even touch the ball back. So we're talking about the guy who's the driving force of his team can't touch the ball back because you get a fumble on kick returns and things like on that nature. And then you set the Eagles up for not even to use Saquon. You set them up to do anything they want. They're in their own scoring red zone area. So I think that really was the game. To be honest,
Yeah.
those fumbles right there where it was 13-12, you got the game in your hand,
Yep.
and it's a shit.
A big shift.
And
Immediate, very early into the
yeah,
game. Like,
and no matter how good Jaden Daniels is, you give a rookie in that type of scenario against a team who's been there before. What's the chances of a team coming back from that? Like as great as he's going to be and is already, it's hard to ask of
it's a
him
tough
to
ask.
be
Yeah.
going into the fourth quarter to play perfect football down 2 scores. Like
Hmm.
so, sucks. My sneaky team made it to the NFC Championship. Shout out to me, but but it's but that was my take on it. It was I mean, very decent game to watch, but I feel like the Commanders kind of shot themselves in the foot with that one.
Yeah. I felt like the one glaring thing that stood out to me after the game, well, in the middle of the game, honestly, was like it feels like they just put a lid on the Commanders. Like there was nothing deep. They couldn't hit any because a shot. I feel like right in that moment you talking about. Like let me go look exactly after the fumble. It's 12. It's 12-14. Well, that's before the fumble. It's 12-14. Eagles go down and score. It's 12-20.
Right.
Then they come right out, fumble before
hmm
anybody even gets the ball back. And
So it's 23-14 by the time he gets the ball back.
so is no, it's 12-27 by the time he gets the ball back.
12-27. Okay.
And so I felt like in that moment, right, when they got the ball back in that possession, let me see. They went 5 plays, 46 yards. And let me see if I don't think there was a pass that was I don't there wasn't a yeah, it was literally a 3-yard pass, a 8-yard pass, a 19-yard run, and then a little dump off to Ertz that he took for 11 yards, and then they kicked a field goal. And it was like right there, I was like, oh, that's not good. Like, if there's any moment where you need, like, Terry McLaurin
Mm-mm.
50 yards, 60-yard bomb. That was the moment. Like, if you got a play that we
That's
have
where
to
it's
have
there.
it, you need to pull it out right
Because that was
now.
going into the beginning of the fourth.
That
Because they was
was
going into the beginning of the fourth with that one, right?
no, that was going into halftime. So when they get done with that drive, it's halftime.
Halftime,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's
Oh
a
yeah, because
minute
it
left.
ended with 50. It ended 55. I'm tripping.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah,
whole
yeah,
half.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So they going into halftime.
But okay, they got the ball with 40 seconds left, and that's when I was like, hey, if there's a moment where you're gonna take a shot, it's when it's when you're
It's
down
right
two
now.
scores going into halftime with 30
And the
seconds
Eagles
left.
get the ball back.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, hey, this is the moment, right? And they came out, did that. They came out the next drive, did nothing. They came out the next drive, the touchdown drive. They hit one big play. Now
Well,
it just
because
felt like there was a lid on them. Like
it's
everything was dink and
it
dunk
sucks.
and
It sucks because it was a minute 30, 20 to 12 or 20 to 13, and that's when they did the fumble.
yeah,
And that was it was like, all right, we down eight with the ball. Let's go get some points on the board and go down at least five.
yeah.
A touchdown and a touchdown to bring us back. I kid you not, bro. I left, went to the kitchen, came back. Eagles had the ball, and I'm like, what
What
the
just
fuck just
happened?
happened? And because I missed all that. I was just like, wait, what? And then I come back and it's like you fumbled the kick return. It's just
Yeah,
like,
fumbled the kickoff. Yeah,
and I'm like, that was a big fumble going down eight, going in that like that was a big swing right there. And it was
huge.
just like, what the fuck is going? Like,
Like, what are we
I
doing,
just feel like,
guys?
and I feel like it's kind of mad, mean to say. Well, not mean, but it's real, but it's kind of like mean at the same time. It's just like Nick Wright said, guys like Eckler, Brown, and the kick returner, I forget his name, can't be the reason why your team lose. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it's like all three of those guys can't be the people that make the mistakes. Obviously, you kind of expect guys like that to make those type of mistakes because the superstars really don't. But if you was to lose a game like this in the NFC Championship, it would be more less of an argument if it was Jaden Daniels who threw two picks and fumbled.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And to
So
be fair, I'm Diami Brown.
you're right.
I'm Brown is the only one where it was like, all right, bro, like you need to be you are one of the people that has to step up and be like a dynamic player in this game too. So like when he
Right.
fumbled and when I heard that same take you talking about, I was like, yeah, okay, like I don't put him in that, but like Eckler, yeah, like bro, come on. I get it. You're the
Yeah,
red zone back and all this shit, and they love passing it to him. Okay, cool, but like, but that's the thing to me where it was like, all right, hey, Terry McLaurin is in a box today. He had 7 targets, 3 catches. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they took him, they put him in a box, and said, hey, you got to win some other way. And they didn't have another answer but Zach Ertz. And I think that's what it turned
right.
into. It turned into the Zach Ertz show. Hey, you can have 4
Yeah.
yards. You can have 2, 3 yards over and over and over
We'll
again.
give you 11 catches in a game. You're
Yeah,
not going to beat us.
that's fine. He has 16 targets. And that's
Right.
kind of my thing. Was like, okay, if you're gonna, if you tell me Jane Daniels throws the ball, what do you throw the ball 48 times, and Zach Ertz is gonna get
16
a third of those targets,
targets.
like that's where it's like, oh, that's probably
I'm
not
not getting
good.
killed.
That's not a
I'm not
yeah.
getting killed.
This is not good. So, and a big thing, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but part of it came down to the Eagles guys up front on both sides of the ball were much better than the command. And Payne was out, so that was another
But
problem.
it's up because the Eagles had a couple offensive linemen out too.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
were
just like
swapping the center
that was
back and forth. Yeah, that was
that
weird.
was your time to take advantage as well.
But I can't. Well, I knew
So
instantly, and I text like when Saquon the first play the Eagles
yeah,
touched the ball. I was like, this is bad. This
yeah.
is
I
really
was like,
this is bad.
I said Bobby Wagner got tripped up with his own player and missed that because that was his gap.
Yes, yeah,
And then so he makes it to the second level,
and
and the
just
corner at the
bullies
second level, and then the safety at the second level was not ready for that
at
action.
all. And he just
So
bullied them. And another weird thing, because once I was like, man, it felt like that they just had, like they were playing with the short field. Like it just felt like the Commanders were like playing with a 30-yard field. Like every time they got the ball. Here's another funny stat that I looked up too. I think they had one possession where they had more than 10 plays after that first drive where they went. Let me look it up. They went 18 plays, 54 yards. It took 7 minutes off the clock, and then after that, the longest drive they had was 10 plays, 45 yards,
Yeah,
field goal.
Because they went to fourth down twice and attempted, and then getting the field, and then they ended up just opting to take the field goal.
And they only had one good drive after that, but it was too late.
Right.
And that's what it just felt like. Damn, the Eagles' defense came in here and made shit happen. And I wanted this is like a slightly not off subject, but the Eagles are. I don't understand the Eagles, right? You go up 2-3 scores and then you throw the ball. That was fucked up, right? Like, this game shouldn't have been as much of a blowout as it was if they played normally, where, hey, let's just keep handing it to Saquon or the backup, and let's just get out of here. We're up 30, we're up 20. You know what I mean? We're up 3 scores, and their offense is just non-existent for 2 quarters, for the 2 middle quarters of the game. And they're saying, hey, you know what we should do? We should throw the ball more than basically we've thrown the ball since the first 4 weeks of the season, because we're up. And it felt so backwards to see that. They were up. When was it? It was. I think it had to be right after the fumble.
Beginning of the fourth.
Yeah, beginning of the third when they come out and it's like, hey, wait a minute, you guys are just gonna throw it every play now? Like, who does? Are we doing this? We're just juicing Jalen Hurts' numbers up to make him feel better. Like, is that what we're really doing that? Hey, we're up 2-3 scores. Let's just throw it.
Toss it around.
Yeah, let's just start throwing the ball around. And so I was at a certain point, I was hoping like, hey, let's get a pick, do something. Like, they're throwing the ball on you guys. Like, this is like disrespectful.
Force a sack, a fumble.
Do something. And
I had Jalen Hurts fumble on the ticket for a fumble. Didn't get it. Thought I was gonna get it because they were gonna do something, but
nope. And it just hurt. Like, that was one of those games. It was, by the time you get to the mid third quarter, I was done. I zoned out.
Yeah, it was like, I'm ready for the Chiefs game.
Yeah, that's exactly what it turned into. And I feel bad for Jaden Daniels. That's the way he has to go out, because I feel like you take those fumbles away and he definitely makes that a more competitive game. Because once you get to that point they were at, it was just like, hey.
But, we can't say no if factors. Only the if factors matter if you're going against the Chiefs. That's the only time you can say if anything, and they allow it.
Oh.
But other than that, we can't use the if thing. So
it's just weird. Like, we just gotta. Like, I want to save some of my deeper Eagles thoughts for the preview episode next week. This week, guys, we're not gonna just go deep dive into Eagles versus Chiefs.
I'm not doing that right now.
The only thing I'm even really want to touch on anymore from this game, because a warning, guys, we're gonna have a lot of thoughts on the Chiefs game. I don't know if you watch faithfully, you should understand that this is gonna be a big Chiefs podcast for the next 3 or 4 weeks. So you just got to get used to it. But the only other thing I wanted to touch on for Commanders Eagles was, like, I just don't. Now, you know what? I'll save it. Because it just gets into the whole makeup of the Eagles of, like, what is this? What are they doing? Is this actually a good team? It's like, I'm not even sure.
I thought it, but it's kind of hard to think it when you just like, well, they in the Super Bowl, but it's
think about that game we just watched.
It's just like
the Commanders. Like, it's not like they played bad. That's the funniest part.
But that's it, right?
Just turnovers.
That's bad.
But that's bad. I mean, but I'm saying if you take away the turnover, well, that's hard to say take away the turnover. But if you just look execution wise on offense, like, even when they
did have the ball, they did, like, because even the turnovers minus the kick return were down the field plays that and things like that. So it's like both of them. You think the first one, who fumbled first? I can't remember, but Eckler. It was a first down when he fumbled. It was like a 15-yard run already, or something like that, catch and run. So I mean, they was moving it. It's just unfortunate that the turnovers happened, and now we got a whole different look out at the game. Like, yeah, they turned it over, but everybody gonna be like, well, that was defense. You see, they punched it out. That was just real good Eagles defense.
It's like,
That's how they want to see it.
yeah,
But it's just you can't say it was good defense because it was, but it's just also like how many other times have that happened in his career? He didn't fumble, so
right.
it's just like
And
I don't know.
I look at it. I just wonder is I not wonder. I know for sure there is a different version of this game, and I say this all the time. There's a different version of how this game goes, where they don't fumble right there and they peel another 7-minute drive off, 8-minute drive off, and all of a sudden we're mid. You know what I mean? We're like creeping into the
Right.
second quarter, and it's 10-7, and now we're talking about a closer game. Like I think without the turnovers, this game becomes a more condensed, slowed down game where Jalen Hurts actually has to go make meaningful throws.
Yeah,
I know he went
but
20
so
for
the thing,
28, but bruh, they just threw the ball. They were up 2 scores and then threw the ball 30 times. So I
yeah.
don't want to
So,
hear
so
none of
what
that
you
shit.
saying? So what you saying makes sense because that's the pace they were going on, things like
Yeah.
that. But it's hard to
It's a what if.
argue with
Yeah.
it. Yeah, right,
I know.
because of it. So it's just like everybody's just gonna say, well, the turnovers happened. So dumb. But it's just like I never I don't think not once this year the Eagles really scared any team they played. Like stepping on the field, just like I think it's different. I think it's different with the Chiefs. You know, the Chiefs step on the field with the Chiefs, you already automatically, regardless of what they
You
say, I
playing
think they
up.
feel like
Yeah.
yeah,
You
they
trying to
feel like
play
they the
up.
underdogs.
Yep.
But I feel like a lot of teams stepping on the same field with the Eagles this year never felt that type of, even with Saquon doing what Saquon did, it's just like they still feel like as long as Saquon don't go for 250 and 3 touchdowns on us, I think
Yep.
we can win this game. So I think a lot of teams go in there and be like, at least let's hold them to like 140. If we can hold
Yeah.
Saquon to 140,
Oh shit.
I think, and then make Jalen Hurts throw the ball 33 times, we can do it.
And not a fake
I
33 where you're up 30 points already and that's when you throw the ball
right.
30 times. No, but that's my point. Like I'm looking at the drives again right now, and you look at it as 18 plays, 54 yards, 7 minutes. They score in one play. The next drive, Commanders fumble. The Eagles
Right.
get the ball, 6 plays, 2 minutes, touchdown. Commanders get the ball back, 4-minute drive, 10 plays, 45 yards. And I just look at it and you go like, yeah, the fumble after the fumble you go 10 and 45 field goal, 5:56 touchdown. And then you fumble again. And that's where
Right.
it's 12-14 right there. I don't know how much time is
Right.
left in the second. It's
Yeah.
halfway through the second,
So
12 to
you
14. If you take away
right.
those 2 fumbles, what are we looking at? Are we looking at a game that's 19-20 going into halftime? Even 15-20 going into halftime, and then
Right.
like,
I think if Eckler don't fumble right there going in, I think they only down. I think they at least get a field goal.
which
I think they was driving.
the
I
first
think
drive was De'Ami Brown. That was the first fumble. Was Brown?
right.
That's the one you're
So
talking about. Yeah.
I'm talking about the one going into where they was down 8 points going into half.
Well, that was the
But I
kick
mean, a
return
minute. Right.
because they did
But
go
the way
down
they
and get a
was
field goal on the next drive going into
right.
halftime.
So I'm just saying
Yeah.
that drive right there. I think it would have been a turn on the events if he didn't fumble because they like I said, like we said, they was driving when they had the ball.
And
It just
think about this shit, right? That kickoff return fumble is with 1:45 left. The Eagles go down and
right.
score.
That's what I'm saying.
All they had to do. They was already on the 25. Like
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
He gave him the ball to 25. They scored. They got the ball back, went down and got
With
3
30
and made
seconds.
it less of a
Yeah,
with less of a head. But it's just like
15-27, and you still in it right
that's
there.
what a 14-point swing.
Yep.
Just right there. I ain't doing the quick math in my head. I'm just naming. I'm just saying it. But that's a
Yeah.
real big point swing right there.
Yeah. It's crazy. And who got the Jordan Davis sack was a killer too because they come out half. Eagles go 3 and out. Bam.
Mm-hmm.
Get the ball back and you immediately just start 3rd and 20. One play that goes nowhere, and then you get a 13-yard sack from Jordan Davis just running through the line, and Eagles get the ball back and score. And it was just kind of like, damn, like So
It was kind of set up to be a shootout,
yeah,
but the Commanders was fumbling the ball.
just
It was literally
left
because
and right.
the Eagles couldn't really keep up with them, and they can't keep up with the Eagles. It was really set up to be
45,
either
55. Yeah.
whoever had the ball last, or whoever defense can make that critical stop. The only thing is the Commanders had three turnovers in critical positions themselves. The defense didn't really have to do much.
Well, here my tease
So,
to the Super Bowl shit is I just want to see someone make Jalen Hurts play quarterback. That's it. You can pay 50 million. You one of the top paid quarterbacks in the league, and then we got to have this conversation of is
once,
he good? Is he bad? Like, come on, what are we doing here?
and then here's my teaser: our DBs and our safeties hit.
Yeah,
You ain't gonna
that
see
shit
too many
do.
arm tackles, but they like to hit. They like
Yes.
so. I'd be very surprised if we come in there and act like we can't tackle. Because one thing our DBs and safeties, our defense period, like to do is hit.
Yep. And you know what's so
So,
funny? This is just a random thought. Like they the Eagles team went to the Lakers Sixers basketball. I guess it was just AJ
oh
Brown.
yeah,
And you seen that going around where they were like, "Well, look at the
where LeBron
difference between basketball players and football players." Everybody looks at AJ Brown like he's huge,
is the beat right, and then stand next to LeBron. Yeah,
and then they standing next to Tyrese Maxey, and it was like, "Wait, Tyrese Maxey looks
yeah.
huge."
I
Like,
was gonna say Curry. They did it like a sportsman
yeah.
did a release on Instagram with the height thing, and Curry's taller than a lot of them
Oh yeah,
receivers
Curry's
and
six
things like
three.
that.
Yeah. That's what I
Yeah,
always said. Like I don't want to revisit that whole take, but like basketball
basketball is a
players
game full
would
of
dominate
giants.
football, bro. There's
What
certain
is that?
guards that would dominate in football. Like
What is
can't
a
tell
game
me.
full of giants
Yeah, of course.
right now? It's just like the shortest. Like you remember, we had that tape.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be
We
it's
talked
gonna
about
be a
this.
time where the
Everybody on the
shortest
court
dude
six
on the court is
nine,
gonna be like six. Yeah, it was like your
six
guard got to be
seven.
6'5".
Yeah,
It's just like
we getting there
so we
now.
talk.
But it's sick. But I brought that up because people say, "Oh, Trent McDuffie, he's small. He's small." Trent McDuffie's 5'10". On a good
Right.
day, 5'9" ish, probably somewhere around there. I just think
Yeah, but the
like
receivers he owns only
they
six
6 foot.
one.
Yeah, like
Six, they're
yeah,
literally they're not that much bigger than me.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Uh, it,
6 foot 5'9". Like if we like, that's not a crazy height difference. Like that's
they
not
just
some
look
crazy
big
shit.
compared to the DBs in the league.
Yeah, because they
But if you put them next to other athletes, it's just like
that shit was funny.
it's
They
just
were like,
try,
"Hey,"
try to see one.
somebody was like,
Try to see
"Hey,"
one of them stand next to Aaron Judge.
somebody was like, "Bro, Trey Young is the same height as AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Like Trey Young's probably bigger than Devontae Smith is." He's six
Yeah,
one, 200, like probably 190. You know, he's probably a
and
little bigger,
he's
and he
small
looks
in
so
basketball.
tiny. Yeah, that's why I said you
Jalen
telling me you
Brunson.
make Westbrook a fucking wide receiver or a safety, he wouldn't fucking dominate, like just go crazy. He's huge.
Yeah,
He's
I think with
6'3",
his
230, jumping out the
right.
gym, running faster than everybody else. All right, but I
Yeah,
just thought that was a
yeah,
funny thing.
Westbrook with his energy, he'll kill somebody.
That's why I said we got to, yeah, come on now. But yeah, Eagles, Commanders. Just my one thing I want to say to the Commanders again is just, hey, don't be the Packers or the fucking Texans next year, please.
Right.
Please don't do that.
Be good. Be
We
better.
can't.
Be better.
Just be solid again. You don't even need to make it to the NFC Championship next year. Just have a cool little run. You know, win a wild card
It's
game and just be done. That's cool. That's if you can just do that, you already did better than.
it's just
We can't just keep
I,
having this every year where a rookie quarterback does good and then they turn around and just have a slump sophomore season. Like, damn, we just going back to just straight like fucking cliches like sophomore slump. It just, man, please just make it back. Do it. We can't. We need somebody in the NFC that's not the fucking Eagles. I'm sure people feel
or
like that about
I
the
mean,
Chiefs too, but damn, like
I,
like the Eagles is a whole different thing. I don't know. It gives they just give me a weird. They got weird vibes, but we'll get into that more.
yeah, we get in that more next week. I've always talked about their vibes every week. If you want to know more about their vibes than me, just tune in to like the last couple weeks when I say I just not feeling their vibes. But
Boy.
still not. Like even after press conferences and things after winning the NFC Championship, still seem kind of off. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think they need to go through a what are you gonna say on stage so I know to what to be ready for because it's just like Jalen Hurts. I don't know. He don't
Oh,
like Sirianni.
I wish I can't
I know that
remember
much.
what he said, bro. But he
He
did
said
the
he let his
thing.
straight jacket off.
No, not that one. There was a quote after the game. I can't remember what he said though. But I was in bed like doing the Leonardo DiCaprio, like, hey, wait. He did the exact thing what I kept saying all this year of like, hey, if, to do what we got to do, we just got to do what we did and we got it done, and that's how we do it. Like he literally did that at the press conference, and I was like, this shit. It's like, what is this? This dude is fucking. This is a robot shit. This can't. I can't deal with like that's to me. That's not leadership. That's not whatever you're doing behind the scenes. That's it. But I just hate the media side of it, where we got to pretend like that answering shit like that makes you like special or like this deep person who's such a good leader. Look how put together he is at a conference. Like he just says the right thing. That's what I hate when they say that. Oh, he says the right things. What is the right? Just nothing. Just every time we know to play the game, you got to go out there and play the game, and the game is to be played, and that's how we played. We played the game. Like nigga, shut up. What? No, you didn't say nothing. Like at least say it in
He
like
said
an
you boring.
entertaining way. Yeah, fuck. At least make something. Like just say
He said
something. But
I
he
ain't
did.
get
He
it.
started doing that. Oh, is this what y'all want to see? He did it a little more this year, where he's starting to actually be like, oh, they took the straight jacket off. Like he's saying stuff, but it's still few and far between, and most of it is still just
Yeah, but
filler.
they took this straight.
But
I just don't
that's a
understand.
nitpick
Like,
though.
do you want to start throwing 45 times a game to see what you really can do?
I don't think you want to do
Like,
that, bro.
I like that's just like
No, you
straight jacket
don't.
is like no, they doing like
Nope. Hey,
okay, do it in the Super Bowl. I think they're
oh
cocky
yes,
enough to do it in the Super Bowl. And
please,
everybody's gonna be
please.
like, why Saquon only got 19 carries?
Oh, I would love that so much.
And
I would love
then
it so
I'm
much.
gonna be like, told you.
Yep.
They want to get out there and throw like everybody get on the field. Mahomes think they and you know what Mahomes going? Yeah, throw for 35, and Mahomes gonna have 28, 28 pass attempts, and then just smartly win the game because you just playing outside the pocket. But we can talk about that more next week when we get to it. But it's just like, yeah,
Let me go
it's
because
bad.
this goes back to what I was saying about the career low and the record low in like completions per game. So let me see. The last
Go down.
time
Mm.
they
Go down unless you hit the
threw,
logo.
oh shit. Last time Jalen Hurts threw the ball 30 times. One was against
Super
Pittsburgh.
Bowl.
No. The
Oh no,
time
no, it
before
wasn't
that
Super
was
Bowl. It was,
early this season against Tampa, and they lost.
right.
And it's like, yeah, like that's why they cut you off. This is how they start the season. Or hit Jalen Hurts specifically. 34 attempts, 30, 38, 30. And he threw
What was their record?
in those first 4 games 2-2, and he had 4 picks. It's like, well, there you go,
So pick a
ta-da!
game.
Exactly.
How many fumbles?
That's a good. I don't even know. I didn't even think about looking at the fumbles.
Because that means you're dropping back more
He had 3 fumbles. 4, no, 5 fumbles. So he had 9 turnovers in 2 games.
in 4 games. And they said,
Wait a minute.
no,
Hey,
you know what we're gonna do? If
take
we
the ball
cut
out of
down
his
at least
hand.
right.
But yeah, so let's get to the real, let's get to the game. The game everybody's talking about. It was the Buffalo Bills against the Kansas City referees. I mean, wait, hold on. If you go off what everybody says, that's what you would imagine.
That's basically
They
what
didn't
it
even
is.
play another team. They just went out there and stood in front of referees and just ran a fucking exhibition,
You know what they
just
did?
practice.
They simulated it. It's like
Yeah, like
simulate.
where do you
Simulate.
want to
It's like, oh,
start
we
with
won
this
again.
game? Where do we even start? Like
Um
everybody's seen the game. Everybody knows what happened at this point.
right.
Where do we
54
start
million
with this?
people tuned in. So
Do we
like
start with the
what
refs? Do we start with? I think
what the
Play better. I don't know how many times I got to come in here and say,
Why?
shit, if it's rigged, play better. Look, there's no possible way you could have rigged that Eagles game. Why? They up 30. How you gonna rig it? No, ain't no 4th and 1. No, none of that matters. No goal line stands matter. No, none of that matters. We up 30. The refs got to just sit back and just let the game play out.
Right. And
So
then
play better.
I'm just so confused on how something's so rigged, but if it was rigged, at least call Buffalo and tell them to stop running the same play they can't make it on, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like somebody should have called in. If it's so rigged, that means Buffalo got some people on the outside too that could call in, like, "Hey, bro, they not falling for it." Like,
They not
it's
going for it at all.
So it's just, I'm just so confused. I'm just tired of the ref thing because it just gets on the. I can't even enjoy some Instagram videos and highlights and clips and stuff because you go to then it's just like, oh, the rest is, oh, the rest that. It's just like, I'm so glad I was young and with no social media during Tom Brady and the Patriots thing because it's just like, but I don't even think they got that much bash on refs and things like that on that nature. So
I got a take that's kind of separate from the game, but it's because it's too many former players. And what do players do? What they gonna do is say, hey, this guy that's playing now cannot be better than the guy that beat me every single time. So we have to come up with some scenario, some way to discredit. It's what every older player, former pro player does. They always do this. And then we always get back around at some point to people are actually appreciating the game and what's going on.
Yeah.
We can't have the Tom Brady era lead into this, and then I got to sit there and be like, this guy is just that good.
So so you went on the player's perspective. I'm going let me go on the fans' perspective of things. You know what I want? You want?
Yeah, go ahead.
What the fans is, they never really had time to cope from Tom Brady's dominance for 20 years and the Patriots.
Yeah.
They thought, oh, Tom Brady's leaving. And I'm just speaking more of AFC fans because that's who you see more of that hate Patrick Mahomes now. Is because like, oh, Tom Brady's leaving. Good. So now it opens up. They didn't think it was going to transfer. That 2018 AFC Championship game wasn't just a Chiefs versus Patriot game. It was a passing of the torch game.
Yep.
As in, like,
you're the guy now. You got the juice now.
Here you go. Like, they went all the way to the overtime, 45-48, and Tom Brady was like, he lost in the Super Bowl, and then he went to Tampa. He said, I'm not going to play 4 more years in the AFC. He did it the smart way. He said, I'm going to Tampa. If I see this man again, I'm going to play him in the Super Bowl. And then the fans never got to cope with it because right when 2018 and Patrick Mahomes already at the highest pinnacle, what did he do? He's doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got the fans who thought after Tom Brady left, my team possibly can have 2-year window.
Nope.
It's
wrong.
Going into another dynasty. So now some people, you got some AFC teams who won't probably see the AFC Championship game for another 15 years because of Patrick Mahomes. And then you got to think of Buffalo with Josh, Lamar going, Joe Burrow. So you got quarterbacks who are decent like Herbert. We don't know about Knicks. Other quarterbacks who just like who fans really believe in them, but they still got to pass that guy to get to that guy to get to that game. And it's just like they might go 30 years without reaching the AFC Championship. And if they do make it, it's like once out of – that's why fans is going outrageous. They never had time to cope with the Patriots dynasty, and now they ran over to the Chiefs dynasty.
And see, and here's the other – this is why I also blame the media because that's one side. You talking about people that watched football all the way at some point of that Tom Brady era and understood what was going on back then, people that are our age, 30 – 45, 50, 60, and watch that whole era. Now, if you condense that, also on top of that, casual fans or younger people who are getting into football right now, when they turn the TV on to watch who they like talk about the game, they telling them it's rigged. Every single person that you would, if you somebody who just casually consumes football and I turn on ESPN and listen to what they got to say, all they talking about is the refs. Oh, they talking about, oh well,
Mm-hmm.
they about to change the rules so the Chiefs they can't keep it. Why would think about this? Why if the league is rigged, why would they change rules? Why would they even talk about changing the rules to get replay assists and all this shit? None of this makes sense. But if you turn the TV on, that's all you being bombarded with. So people that haven't been
But
watching
if
football
the,
for 20 years, I just gotta get. All they know is that they just it
I'm
must be
just,
rigged then because
and
I don't
then
know any better really.
and then if the game was really rigged, the same rule that Buffalo cried about, we did after the Tom Brady AFC Championship game, and everybody
And nobody cared.
everybody in the owners voting group, the owners voted on it, and they said no. And
Yeah.
as soon as Patrick Mahomes, and I'm sure, I think it was only one more owner that voted with us and said yeah, but other than that, all the other owners said no.
Yep.
We took that as fuck you. So then we decided to change that shit. So then Buffalo did it, and then it was just like, oh, we wanted to see Josh Allen get the ball and then all of a sudden
It's not
they changed the rule because of
fair.
that. It's
Like
not fair
shut
because Josh
up.
Allen didn't get to touch the ball, so that's why they changed it. Now they're about to change another rule in a Buffalo because of a Buffalo. They might as well just make
Oh,
a whole
wait, but
dialogue
hold
of
on.
Buffalo Chiefs
You
rule
forgetting the
changes.
whole part also. That shit happened. Then we played them. First, they got whooped by the Bengals. The Bills got
Right.
whooped by the Bengals the next year. Come back last year and have a chance to send it to overtime again. And they fuck it up and miss the field goal. Well, first of all, they could have just scored. That's what I was saying
Right.
last year. Hey, guess what? Everybody, y'all crying, Bills fans crying about the Chiefs this, calls, all that. Guess what you can do in every single one of these games? Guess what you could have did? Guess what Josh Allen, Superman, could have done? Scored a touchdown with 2-3 minutes left. You could have just did that.
Right.
But you didn't do it any time. The 4th and 1,
Nope.
I don't, we're not even going to, we'll start from the beginning before we even get to all the 4th. But that's, the referee shit got to stop. We got to stop doing this. We about to turn this shit into the NBA where people just like, oh, I don't watch the
Yeah,
NFL
well,
because it's rigged. I don't watch it because it's boring. We know, like, we got to stop this. It's the best
it's
sport
there.
going on right now, and we about to ruin it just saying none of this matters. If it don't,
Well,
hold on,
yeah.
if also, I just want to point out, my bad, I didn't mean to just cut you off like that. If it's
No, you
rigged,
good.
that means it's not. If it's that rigged, it's not just rigged for the Chiefs. That means it's rigged for Josh Allen to be that good. It's rigged for Lamar to be that good then. It's rigged for
Right.
Joe Burrow to be that good. It's rigged for them too to be that good. It's not just rigged.
Right.
It wouldn't just be rigged for just the Chiefs. So we finna be like, once the Chiefs are gone, it's not rigged no more. That's what we gonna do.
So, what think about it, right? If it's so
If
rigged,
somebody
how did
beat the
Lamar
Chiefs,
win last year?
if somebody
The
beat the
MVP.
Chiefs, then that gotta be rigged, right?
Right.
If all the
No, no way Broncos beat us with our backups in.
exactly.
Impossible.
It's rigged
Rigged.
because it's scripted, right?
Like,
You got former players coming on. They got Pro Bowls, All Pro, Super Bowl wins. Talking about the game rigged. So that means your whole career is bullshit. But you got a trophy case at your house. You got the
So why
trophies
y'all-
in your house. Proud of them. But it's rigged.
so why you care so much about being in the Hall of Fame if you knew at the
Exactly.
beginning
If
of
it's
your career
rigged,
you weren't gonna make it?
it doesn't mean anything then, right? But no, it does.
Right.
It just
They draft. Yeah, that's what they do. Hey, bro, thank you for being the number one pick of our draft team. You're going to play for us for 15 years, but within that 15 years, we might cut you a couple times, and we're going to win a Super Bowl, and you're gonna break almost every record in our franchise, but not make it to the Hall of Fame. It's like, so that's my career, huh? Yeah,
Yep.
but
And
you
then you
still
gonna
gonna
end
have to
up on
play all the
TV.
games.
you're gonna
Like,
go on
what are we
TV
doing
and tell
here?
everybody it's rigged because you had a subpar, mediocre career. Like, okay.
Right.
But y'all got to stop. This has to stop. The rig shit. Let's talk about the game. What
They
happened?
don't want to. It's deflection because they don't want to talk about what really happened.
What happened?
It's deflection. They don't want to talk about what really happened. They want to talk about the 2-3 plays that possibly could have not about the other thousands of plays, not about how Buffalo decided not to run the ball more and things, or they kept running the same play, or McDermott still can't outcoach Andy. They don't want to talk about any of these things.
But
They just want to
have
talk about
sports
the
shows
one play.
have sports shows devolved that much? Did Skip Bayless and the whole
guess
the
what they
arguing
also
shit
don't want to
fuck
talk
it up?
about?
Why don't we
It's
talk
so
about
rigged.
football?
That, you know what else they don't want to talk about? Josh Allen down 3 with 3 minutes left, and on a 4th and 6, you do that.
Yeah, we'll go through the whole game here in a second.
And then it's like there was a flag on the play and they picked it up.
Stop.
Okay,
Stop.
what are we doing? He
Stop.
dropped the ball. There wasn't no flag on the play. That play was so broken so fast. What was the flag? Nobody
Yeah.
even got a chance to touch
Dude,
anybody.
yeah, it was nothing happened.
It's like nothing happened at all.
You know what? The more we talk, I think that's what's wrong with the NBA too. People aren't talking about sports. We're watching sports and then talking about these, like literally only speaking on to narratives. Like we come on this show and I would say a majority of our narratives are gameplay based. Hey, this guy can't throw the ball, but we're calling him a great quarterback. What is happening? This guy does this every time it's the fourth quarter.
Their narrative is like
the league is rigged.
Based.
Who's the bet? Like, is Patrick Mahomes better than Tom Brady? Like shit that we can't actually watch. Like, and then like the NBA has got the same shit going on where you talking more about trades and what teams are doing what and what is Curry and LeBron's legacy now more than we talk about the fucking games happening. What happened in the fucking game?
Listen,
tell me about the damn game.
Like, can we break down why he did what? I don't want to break down. Like crucial play call. I mean, crucial flags and X, Y, and Z. I want to break down like, hey, bro, it was 3 minutes left in the game and he couldn't get a first down, and then we got the ball back and we got five plays and got 2 first downs and won the game. Like, where was the defense at on our whole? They still could have stopped us and got the ball back.
Yeah.
Where was the defense?
It's
like
also,
nobody want to talk about that.
No. But that's what I mean is like this shit has gotten so argument based and narrative based that these shows don't talk about the game. I want to talk about the fucking game. Why we gotta talk about all this other, what does this mean for Josh Allen's legacy? What?
And then you start talking about the game, people. That's why they always go back to, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't do this because they don't know how to talk about the game. It's like, that's what you just don't like Lamar. And then, like, I watched the game, like y'all
every snap of this fucking game, every game. Like, what are we saying?
It's like it's very weird. Like that's why I don't really talk. Like, it's hard for me to even communicate with sports because even like on my Facebook, it's just like people don't even want to. They don't even want to see like the base ain't even the base. It's like you're really just saying shit. And if I say something, you're so gun ho on what you're saying. It's just like, bro, like I'm agreeing with narrative. You, but right, it's just like I'm not disagreeing to what you're saying, but also this can like, did you see how he played? Like, I'm not saying he sucked, but I'm just saying he not as good as you think he is.
Yeah, because these are things that happen. I'm getting, because you know I sit and watch fucking the all 22 if I really have something I'm thinking about, like, hey, okay, why is this happening? Why do I feel this way watching the game in real time, but why do I feel like that? And I'll go back, watch the all 22 and be like, oh, I feel like Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball because look at these all 70s incompletions. He just sprayed the ball and totally missed a wide open man. But most people never see that. They don't see that part. Right. They just say, oh, look, he had 250 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. Well, hey, guess what? He had 4 rushes, and one was a 2-yard scramble, and the other one was a tush push 4 times.
Right.
And then, why are people watch the games?
Okay, so.
But why are we just
there's
stuck?
People that watch, and we watch to watch because we like it, but we also watch to understand what's going on and
analyze
things on that, and analyze, because obviously we not coaches there, but we like to analyze the game because we talk about it. We got a podcast. We want to seem like we know the sport.
Yes.
So we gotta, but to us, like to seem like you know the sport, you got to watch it and then analyze what you watch. Yeah. But right now it's kind of hard because we do that, and it's just like they don't want to argue about that. They don't want to argue about the facts. They want to argue about the narrative.
Yes.
And it's just like, I'm not arguing narrative. I'm arguing facts.
What is happening?
Like, nothing you tell. I don't care about the MVPs. Let's talk about the year they won it and how they shouldn't have because of this, all that. Because it's like.
Oh, you want to know what? No, go ahead. My bad.
I would say not to go off script a little bit, but it's like the Josh Allen and Lamar. They think Lamar's going to win it again this year, which blows my mind because everybody's like Lamar should win it this year. I said, what about last year? He should have won it last year.
So
I
he
was
should
like,
just win it
well,
every
that.
year,
So
right?
I'm just like, well, Josh Allen has the same argument y'all giving Lamar last year and better stats than he had last year. So I'm just so confused. Like, it's going to be a point in time that we cannot use this running thing for Lamar. We get it; he's a good runner. Like, but he's a quarterback as
Yep.
well. So,
It's
like,
the
I just
triple
don't
double debate, but nobody wants to have that talk. Nobody's talking about
exactly.
what's really going on. Hey, Lamar ain't getting better. He's just gonna have 4,000 yards and 800 to 1,000 rushing yards every year. Does that mean
Every
he's
year.
the most valuable player in the NFL every single year because of that? Does somebody just have to get more than him, and that's the only
Okay, and
way?
it's gonna have
Somebody
to
got to
get to
throw
a
50
point where
touchdowns?
yeah,
Fuck.
and it's gonna have to get to a point where if this is the case, they're gonna have to move MVP votings to after the playoffs or something
Yeah.
because we can't keep doing this.
Yep.
We can't.
It's
As
not
it- I
viable.
mean, uh, I mean Peyton. Granted, but Peyton
Yeah.
Manning when he won his MVPs, he actually deserved those. He was lighting the fucking fields up. He just really choked in the playoffs like Lamar did. But so it's just like,
But it's like
so it's really.
it's so weird.
So
Like,
yeah, it's like narrative based football
oh,
we're experiencing right now.
the perfect example for this, right, is what played out with Brock Purdy over the 2 years.
Oh,
Perfect example. The narrative is he's a great quarterback. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. That's the narrative. But then when you watch the game, you like, I don't think so. I'm watching this dude play every game, and I don't think he's one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. And how did that play out? The team got hurt,
okay.
everybody got hurt around him, and what happened? He looked average. Your team's average, you look average. I don't think that makes you an excellent quarterback. You're not top 5, but that was the narrative. He's MVP candidate. MVP candidate. Why? Because people just want something to fucking
The
talk
thing,
about.
so the thing, right? And it's a narrative, and then they wanted something to talk about because it's just like I really think they talked about Brock Purdy and that narrative is because I think Brock Purdy's about to set the new market wise for like how much a quarterback is going to get paid. Not
Yeah.
like
How much like
high
just
or
a
low,
regular
but
quarterback
like
gets
a
paid?
regular court. Like it's this Brock Purdy contract is really about to reset the quarterback market because
I can see that.
I don't think he's getting 60 like that. I'm sorry, I don't think he's getting 60. But I think he's getting more than Daniel Jones, which is 40. I think that's it. But I think he's about to reset a little bit because with his resume, a lot of quarterbacks can't come out and say, "Well, this is what I did." Well, Brock Purdy made 48, and look at his resume. He went to
Yeah.
the Super Bowl once and 3 NFC championships. So it's just like you don't have that. So why should I pay you more? And that's what he made. So now we about to. I think if they do that right, that might set the quarterback market a little bit.
I can see that.
And he might leave. He might leave and go make 60. If somebody paid Brock Purdy 60 million, then y'all just out of control.
You smoking.
But yeah. So this is back to what we're saying. It's just a narrative. It's hard to talk about sports even with Chiefs fans because a lot of Chiefs fans like is just like
In
I
there,
even hate.
yeah.
Yeah, I just
Just for people that don't know, there is a sector of Chiefs fans that say Patrick Mahomes hasn't been good. Like that's a weird Chiefs fan to talk to. Where you're like you love the team, but you're so engrossed in the media narrative that you're like, yeah, but Pat not really that good.
I
But
love
but I
my
love
brother
the
to death,
Chiefs. Like what are
but
what?
he I love my brother to death, but one of my brothers is one of them, and I
Yep.
just every time we talk, I just be like, okay, so you're also one of those people that's stuck in 2018 Patrick Mahomes,
Yes.
like
That's the
people
narrative.
like yeah, so it's just like people have to be able to grow grow per season, or you're not going to be able to understand football and how it goes, like sports, period. Because why
Nope.
are some of y'all stuck in 2018? We're not there no more. Like this is a whole different team. It's been a whole different team for 3 years. We've seen this. Like so, for
Yes,
y'all to
yeah.
keep trying to argue Pat Mahomes ain't good based on what? Because last time I checked,
Cause
he's 15-1. He has the most game-winning drives. I don't give a fuck how shitty your shit is. If you could come in, you just like
I can tell you why.
game-winning drives.
It's
Like
because
what?
it's so simple. It's because what most people do is they hear something on ESPN, they hear something on a podcast they listen to, and that person is a narrative-based person that can just say, hey, Patrick Mahomes is only throwing for 212 yards a game. He's not that good. But then when you once you realize what that really means, hey, bro, 212 yards is almost you're talking about 37, almost 4,000 yards in the season, which that's what Lamar got.
Right.
But that's okay.
But that's okay for him.
Because
that's okay for him.
But that's when you start, because it's narrative, because people aren't looking
Right.
at it critically and saying, they just hear stats and they go, well, he threw for 330 yards one
Patrick
year
Mahomes
and then threw for
not-
220 yards another year. He must not be playing as well. But it's like, well, no, he's not. It's not whether he's playing as well or not. You could argue he's better now than he was then. It's just, it's different.
It's a
as
different
opposed
game.
to Lamar Jackson, who's playing the
It was the
same
same.
way every
Same
time
football.
for 10 years. And that's because it's people aren't critically looking at the game. And then you have the flip side is that casual person, when they go listen to somebody who's supposed to be showing them and telling them this is why I look at it this way, they're not doing that. They're saying shit like, look at the numbers. Oh, it's rigged. Oh, this, that. Like, it's just the same shit.
Also the thing about it is, we went this whole year. Well, we didn't, but those casuals and fans and things like that went this whole year listening to this nonsense on TV talking about X, Y, and Z team is better than the Chiefs and how the Chiefs ain't gonna three-peat because no team ever did it and all this and all that. And then those casuals who don't really watch football or understand it, whatever the hell they want to do nowadays, look up and once again the Chiefs back in the Super Bowl. They like, well, that can't be right. Something got to be off. Like, and then they hear, oh, the
They
refs
get the
is
answer.
helping.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And that's it.
Oh, okay, so that's the reason. Because all year they said the Chiefs weren't good.
Yep.
And all year, all year the teams that those ESPN people said the Chiefs were going to lose to, the Chiefs beat
them.
Like it would make, other than Buffalo, the only team that's the only team that beat them this year so far.
And now Buffalo. You see, and that's my point about part of this is the media's fault, because right there, it's okay to say you was wrong. It's all right. We can say, hey, oh man, I didn't expect to see the Chiefs do this on defense and da-da-da-da, but they don't do that. And that's becoming a bigger part of the problem than, for me, that's the biggest part of the problem. Why? Let's explain why. Like, let's go back. Let's peel this back and let's let some of our anger go of that piece, right? And let's go look through the game. Let's go back and go through some of the pivotal moments of this game. Because that, to me, that's the whole point. Is like, right. This is what people are not doing.
The moments of the game. Right. Yeah. They're not talking about moments in the game. They're more talking about the narratives of the game.
Because
nobody wants to hear that. That's why I didn't watch the sports show other than First Thing First, because they try to stay off narratives and actually analyze what happened.
Let's start drive number 1. How about you can win this game maybe if you don't start drive number 1, 3 and out. The game starts and Buffalo goes 3 and out immediately. Chiefs go down the field, touchdown. Now, was there first drive wasn't no penalty?
No, it was a very clean game.
That was the craziest part, is that the refs actually had a good game.
Exactly, that's why I was like, it was a very clean game.
The one questionable, arguable thing was the 4th and 1, and maybe the catch. The catch was a little weird. But we'll get to that. So the Chiefs,
the catch wasn't weird. It was a tie, and the tie goes to offensive players.
My only thing is the ball hit the ground. So now, like,
but they had full control by, at least both of them had full control on it, though.
Yeah, but to me, that's
if it's a tie. But if it's a tie, that means there's still control of the ball.
But my thing is, we've seen other guys with 2 hands on the ball, but the ball just taps the ground and they roll over on it, and that's incomplete. It's like, it
depends on if it's moved in full control. It's like David Tyree. he was still stuck on his hand, but he had full enough control to
But
where when it did hit the ground, it was good.
but I mean, we've seen 100 times this year where it's the low catch, the low pass, and the dude is going out and he's leaning down and it hits him like in the chest, in the hands, but then his hands with the ball hit the ground and they're like, well, that's incomplete. Well, I got it pinned to my chest. It's pinned to my chest and I'm going down with it, but the ball hits the tip hits the ground and that's incomplete. And they've called that 100 times.
But that's because if it moves when it hits the ground,
yeah,
then it's not a catch.
That
it has to be that ball didn't move when it hit the ground.
To me in that moment.
But guess what? Let's keep
Let's keep going.
Before Hollywood Brown caught the fucking ball and they missed it. So congratulations, we got it. Like whatever.
But I'll give you. There's a deeper part of that too. That it didn't really matter in the end. That didn't matter.
No, it didn't.
I wanted them to call it an incomplete. That's why I'm saying that.
It was still a penalty on the play. It was a fucking holding 5. It would have been 5 yards.
It would have been first down
on a play.
Back on the
so it
40.
Don't matter.
Yeah. With 3 minutes, with 2 minutes left, stop playing, stop. It would have been more beneficial for us, for the Chiefs fans, if it was called incomplete, because we get the ball back, it's first down, the chains move, we pass the 50 now, and now we just go on a different version of the drive. But okay,
right.
Buffalo Bills start out, go 3 and out, bam, cool, okay. Chiefs go right down the field, touchdown. It seemed like, oh shit, this shit is scary. Pat went 11 yards, 9 yards. 4 yards, 10 yards, 3 yards, 30 yards. Like the Juju Smith pass is the one that busted it open on that one when he hit the little crosser. Mm-hmm. It was like, and then he did the little spin, broke the tackle, took it 30. Okay, but Bills get the ball back. What do? Field goal. You get 3 first downs and then you kick a field goal. Okay, you could have scored a touchdown there. It could have been 14-7. If we doing what ifs with the refs, and you could have started the first quarter up 14-7. So what happens on the Chiefs' next drive? They fumble. Bills go down, score. Okay, now we got a game. Bills are up. So this is when I feel like right here in this moment, this is when Buffalo fans were probably like, "Oh, we got this. We're doing it."
Right.
And then what happens again? Chiefs get the ball, go straight down the field, 10 plays. And score a touchdown. And then the Bills come out and go 3 and out again. It's 14-10. They go 3 and out. Chiefs get the ball and go right down the field again. What version of this game, especially in the first half, were Bills fans like, it's because of the referees? No, you was low key.
Wasn't even no
you
calls.
Was getting dog walked, kind of. You didn't get a stop.
Hey, listen, if they don't fumble that ball,
you didn't get a stop.
That game would have been way worse.
Yes, you didn't get a single fucking stop the whole first half. Pat had to fuck up the read option. They both thought the other one was taking the ball, and the ball just hits the ground. Outside of that, you didn't get not one singular stop in the whole first half. Not one possession.
I bet you. And then it wasn't even no calls in the first half, was it?
None.
No penalties in the first half.
I don't think there was a single penalty in the first half. Maybe there was some holding. There was a hold-in on Nick Bolton. They called that holding, where Josh was pointing at him. They called that.
Right.
Let's see. Is there another penalty? Face mask. That was 1, 3rd and 4, but that was like a clear. Yeah, that's when he just grabbed his.
Right. That was when he really grabbed his face mask up.
It's a couple. Yeah, that's it. Holding on Hamlin, but
I don't see none. I don't see none of the narrative people going about the first half of the game. It's like the first half didn't matter. It's only the shit that happened in the second.
Yeah, of course.
When the game really was, when time was going down.
So you had
time was going down. They needed
fucked the whole first half off, and then you want to blame the refs. No, you had the whole first half to make it a game the whole time, and you couldn't get a stop, and you scored twice. Excuse me. It's like, that's on you guys. That's on the football team for not executing at a higher level.
Yeah, and the thing
early in the game.
And then shame on everybody, which I tell my flag team to this day. We can't put ourselves in positions to where we relying on that crucial call or not crucial call from the ref, and then try to use that as as a bailout
I
call. It's like
started the
no.
podcast by saying, or I started this segment by saying, guess what you can't do, or guess what you can do, excuse me, if the game is rigged. If it's so rigged, then play fucking better and blow them out. And guess what doesn't matter? A holding on third down in the third quarter doesn't matter. Getting the first down on 4th and 1 in the fourth quarter at the first fucking 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, guess what doesn't matter at the end of the game? If we're up, if we're blowing you out, it doesn't matter if it's a first down or not. It don't matter. We giving you the ball back. We up 3 scores. Who gives a fuck? Exactly. Hey, let's not put ourselves in the hole where the referees make a difference. And if we're in that position, let's not shoot ourselves in the foot a la Texans and go helmet to helmet tackle people or the quarterback. Like, let's not do small, stupid things.
Well, also, once again, 1st and 10, 3 minutes left, down 3, and your first 2 passes are air rated. Whose fault really is it? Like, I'm just so confused on like, on everything was. Yeah, it's okay. Continue with it. I'm just saying you can't do it. You have multiple chances, and you want to pick the 2 chances that once your continue, Carl. It's all right. I'm just this.
But yeah, like this shit is so silly, bro. Like, I don't understand. Like, okay, so where was we at? It's 10-21 with 2 minutes left going into half. Buffalo gets the ball back, and they hit what one? Do they hit one big play? It's the Matt Collins touchdown.
Yeah, right
bomb.
Before half. Yeah.
That
was a good throw. That was good coverage, throw, and catch.
Yeah, crazy kid. And they called pass interference on that. They called pass interference on Trent McDuffie. He barely touched him. He barely was touching him. That's one of those. I didn't even argue it. I seen it in real time. Was like, oh, okay, that could have been a flag. Seen it in slow motion and was like, all right, you just threw that for no reason. Honestly, you just threw that because the rig shit, Loki. That's what I felt like. They knew the narrative coming into this was rigged, so they just threw a flag just in case he dropped it. Like, let's just give him one. But cool, okay. It's 16-21 going into halftime. You come out, you get a stop. That's the one that you finally get a stop coming out of half. Okay, cool. You go down, you score. Was this the drive where they didn't throw a pass?
That's the one where they scored with Curtis Samuel, right?
No. This was the drive where they failed to get the tush pushes. So this is the drive they didn't throw the ball a single time. They went 12 plays, 80 yards, all runs, right down the field, and that was the moment I was like, oh fuck. I think they might have figured out, hey, let's just run. Let's just push this motherfucker. Like, just run this shit right down their throat, and they can't do nothing. And then they scored, and they got to the goal line, and did that weird shit where they went what they blew 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Josh Allen tried to pitch one back, didn't he?
That's the one that worked, I think, where he threw it out to
No, it didn't.
No, yeah, they did. They did the tush push, and then that's when he threw it. They ran a regular play, I think, and threw it to James Cook, and that's when he reached over the goal line and had to do a windmill dunk just to get it in. So that was that drive. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the shining light of a drive. You come out. Now here's the moment to me that's the most pivotal that we just kind of glance over because of the refs. Chiefs come out and essentially go 3-and-out. You know, they go. That's the weird. This is also the drive with the weird Ed Oliver. We want to talk about shit being rigged. How about that? So Ed Oliver wasn't offsides. He stood up and did a swim move to Caliendo, and fucking they were like, "Well, that's false start because you flinched." Well, this man his whole body is over the line.
Yeah.
He is a full step past the ball. But that's
He
not an
said, "Hold on,
offsides
I'm trying to
encroachment.
protect myself."
Yeah, he's literally about to do a swim move and slap my helmet, but you're going to call a false start. Okay, so they go 3 and out right there. Buffalo gets the ball, and what do they do with it?
They don't. They don't
They
score. I
don't
know that
do
much.
shit.
I know that much. They don't score.
This is the 4th and 1, and this is what people are so upset about. This is the drive with the 4th and 1 where Josh Allen doesn't get the ball over. Now, to me, if you're running around right now saying, hey, the ball was clearly over the line, you fucking lying. There is no version, no angle you can see that shows the ball was clearly over the line. If you want to say Josh Allen's helmet and his left shoulder was over the line, cool. But that don't mean shit if I got the ball tucked in my right arm.
Right. It's
So,
like you could just, and then we turned his body to where he could
and turn
even
him around. Guess
Yeah.
what you can also do? If it's so rigged, guess what you should probably do? Just get a hands down clear version of a first down. That's what you could do. You could draw up a play that doesn't rely us to have 20 people in a pile and the referees
Right.
peel everybody off to find where the ball is. You could run a play that is clearly a first down, and then you don't have to deal with the refs, right? You could just do that. Maybe you could run a play where you have 3 receivers in a bunch and you run your running back in a pick play through the 3 receivers. So now the linebacker, you're in man coverage, that linebacker is struggling to weave through 6 people to get a first down to end the game. You could just do that. You could run a play like that, right? But people don't. Those plays don't exist, right?
Anything. I think they could have ran anything.
But those plays,
they could have ran.
Do they exist? Just throwing a quick screen or doing like just something that it will clearly get you first down. Those plays just don't exist, right? It's just only the tush push
Because
for
I
4th
guess
and
the
1.
tush push. Right, that's the only thing now.
You can't
I'm
run.
surprised it ain't on Madden yet.
Yeah, boy, you can't run a read option that's a variation of a play you've been running all day, and the quarterback keeps it and gets a first down. You can't do that.
Or a touchdown.
No. No, that doesn't. People don't do that. Oh, except for the Chiefs did it. Everything I just said the Chiefs did. That's the problem. But you want to rely on a tush push on 4th and 1 with the momentum on the line. Because what happens next? Clear as day. We know what happens next. The Chiefs get the ball and go straight down the field. Because you know what what also didn't happen? All this shit rigged, calls, blah, blah, blah. What didn't happen was on these game-winning drives, like a massive call that changed the game.
Right.
The Xavier Worthy catch, not catch shit was, I don't even remember when that was, but it was I think it was.
It wasn't on the last drive.
It wasn't on one of these last 2 drives. No, it wasn't on the last touchdown drive. So it was before that. So that's my point. Is like there's all these moments. You can blame the refs, but you have all these moments. You can call a different play on 4th and 1. It's that simple. You didn't get a fucking stop. You got 2 stops all game. How many possessions did the Chiefs have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They had 8 possessions, not counting the end of the game that they clearly weren't going to go try to score. You had 8 possessions. You got 2 stops.
No, that counts because they needed.
Well, then you didn't get a stop then either. Yeah, so you had 9 possessions that you didn't get a stop.
It was still 3 minutes left, and we needed to get a first down. But then P. Ryan, then Pacheco went out of bounds, so it had to start it back over. So we need to get another first down.
Yep.
So and we got the first down. They didn't stop. So no, 2 stops out of 9 drives. And that's not how you win the game.
You don't win the game.
Regardless of what the cause is and things like that. I don't care what y'all did on offense and what the calls were when y'all was on offense. Y'all didn't get no stops on defense. There was no pivotal calls on defense.
Versus, well, yeah. And then the other side is The Bills also have 9 drives, but we got 4 stops. Even if you want to take the 4th and 1, they still got more stops. We stopped you more than you stopped us.
Right.
It's that sometimes when you look at that,
That's that simple. When
it's
you start
that
breaking it
easy.
down. When you
It's
start breaking
so
it down
simple.
and
First of all, what did y'all do on 3rd down? Fuck the 4th and 1s and all that shit. You went 5 for 14 on 3rd down. That
that's
right
why they had to
there.
go for so many fourth.
Exactly. That's just like you said. Hey, guys, let's not put ourselves in a position where we have to rely on the refs to spot the ball in the right spot. To all these small things, let's not even get to that point. Let's handle our business on fucking 3rd down and not miss 9 of them. You didn't convert on 9 3rd down. The Chiefs were 5 for 9 on 3rd down. These are the small things. You won the turnover battle and lost. Why? Because you couldn't convert on 3rd down. Then you struggled to convert on some of those short yardage plays because you just kept doing the same play.
And they was hard. They was trying so hard at the beginning of the game to lose the turnover battle.
Yeah, they fumbled. Yeah,
We
it
had
was trying to
5
like
fumbles?
3.
And
Don't even.
3, 4
What about the
fumbles,
first 2 throws? His first 2
Right.
throws were in the hands of Chiefs DBs.
Well, the same DB. Was it Najee Johnson?
No, I think it was
Cook.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, guess what? Like, you could have had there's a version of this game where you get blown out. You turn the ball over a couple times, it's a blowout. Fuck a close game where the refs if you watching this game, like, you guys, there's in the first half, you lucky you didn't get blown out. You had a couple good plays in the half, and you finally got some stops, and you made it close. Good on you guys. Let's stop blaming the refs.
That's what I
Just
said.
stop.
It was that fumble really saved them because it was on pace to be one.
Yes, like if
I
that,
think
yeah,
if we don't fumble and we punch that in, the whole morale of everybody's shift.
yeah,
It's just, and then they gonna start forcing shit.
yep,
They gonna really stop running, and then we just would have been coasting and doing what we want.
yeah. Now all
And
of a
it would've
sudden you
looked
going in the
ran back
half,
real bad.
it's 27-10 going into the half, and now it's
And we
ugly.
get balls. It's just like
Momentum is
And
a
now
lot
Josh Allen
different.
is, so they very lucky we botched that handoff because it's way worse than what it could have been.
It's annoying. Like, why? What is going on with the way this shit is going right now with the media, with the, like, why is this happening?
And because the media ain't had time to. Yeah, because everybody on the media was so quick to call Tom Brady the GOAT and X, Y, and Z. Like I said before, they ain't had time to cope with somebody stepping on those shoes so quick.
And it's okay to look stupid, right?
Right.
I think some of the, especially the former player guys, it's okay to look stupid. We don't care that you said, oh, the Chiefs aren't good, and nobody cares. We care now that you forcing this narrative because you don't want to look dumb. Don't do that.
But the crazy thing about it is, a lot of these sports people already did, because if we want to pull up your video on the draft when we drafted Mahomes, a lot of y'all weren't even thinking he should have been that high, and we thought we made a bad decision, and we said why would you pick a quarterback with just all arm and no feet work, no nothing, and all of a sudden. And none of them want to talk about they like they ever said that. It's just like, so they've been wrong probably a lot of times.
I thought Jordan Love was going to be a top 5 quarterback this year. Guess what? I was dead wrong. I thought Caleb Williams was going to come in and be amazing. I thought the Cardinals were going to be a playoff contender. And Kyler Murray was finally going to play good after Call of Duty came out, and none of those things happened.
Yeah.
I was
it's okay.
Totally,
Guess what?
And I was totally wrong.
And right, but the thing about it is, guess what? You still got all next year to be right again.
Of course,
it is what it is.
Especially like y'all get paid for that. That's your job. Like just accept it and quit trying to. It's the problem is. Doing this is ruining how we talk about the game.
And that's why I like First Thing First a lot, because even if they do picks, they do those like they'd be like, oh, I'm off my pick, and they do all those little takes where
Yeah,
they go into another team. It's like because they admit when they're okay, yeah, I was kind of wrong, and my new NFC team is, and they make a joke out of it rather than just being so serious. I'm
yeah,
like, oh, that's my pick, but
yeah.
this happened,
The
and trying to
refs.
defend why they trying to defend why they pick was so bad rather than saying, yeah, I picked them.
Yep.
Sorry.
I
Like
picked
it's
some
like,
bad.
yeah,
I did some bad shit. Yeah.
sorry that your takes being supposed to be a professional and you still can't pick the good teams. I don't
Yep.
know. Some of us can,
But you know what's so funny? The
but
funniest thing to me is that there's some shit that, like, that to me, it's like all that nobody cares about the Cardinals take. Nobody will care about some of that shit. But there's certain shit where you can be right. Like Lamar Jackson is to me is I love it so much because it's so funny to watch people. It's the opposite of Mahomes. It's
right,
watching people try to scramble to be like, no, he might be the best, but the playoff stuff is, oh, it is what it is. Wait,
they
so
don't want to talk about the playoffs.
every other quarterback we have to bring the like their win loss record, all
Yeah,
this shit, but because because you're so tied to this other side, even though this could be right every year consistently. I just keep saying the same thing. Make Lamar throw the ball deep to win the game, and he loses every time, especially in the playoffs. Regular season, it's that happens in a regular. The Browns did it this year. The Colts did it last year. When he's in one of those games, he loses it 90% of the time, and it
that makes
hits
sense.
every single year. But it's like people get so hung up on the fact that they could be so wrong about something they felt so strongly about, especially when it becomes a team like the Chiefs that are maybe one of the most popular teams in the country, and people just are so afraid to just let it go, let the bad take go. Because now we turn this shit into some weird shit where because you stood on that hill all day, now we got to hear, oh, they weren't. I told you they weren't good. They weren't good. It's because the refs. Okay, now we've gone too far, right? Like, like let's like talking about fucking. It's sick. It's the same shit like LeBron and Curry, man. LeBron and Curry still playing. Motherfuckers still want to talk about them. Stop. Let's stop talking about Bron and Curry. Stop talking about the refs.
Yeah,
Stop doing this shit. I just watched SGA go, like, that shit was sick, bro. He was out there doing some sick shit. I was like, bro,
yeah. Hey, that man.
I just watched him come down 5 straight possessions and get a bucket, no misses, just coming down. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I ain't been watching close enough. Like, that shit really fucked me up. It was creepy almost. I'm like, damn, he different. I want to do that too, but we won't do that right now. Like a must-watch list for NBA shit right now because I've been watching a little more. The Rockets is on there. The Rockets, SGA, Wemby, of course.
Oh, yo, yeah. You talking about must?
Must watch NBA shit. Yeah,
No.
because we'll move on. We'll break down the Super Bowl and our thoughts and picks next week before the actual game.
Right.
Like that shit is still a whole another week away before we even getting close. So yeah, NBA side, it's almost there. All-Star Weekend is also next week or the week after that.
February, right?
I
Beginning of
mean,
February.
February is next week.
Shit.
We a week away. We a
Right.
couple days. No, we 2 days away from February.
Speaking of NBA, why is
I think it's
the
like the
Lakers
13th or something.
up by 40 damn near?
Damn, I seen the game was on, but I ain't. NBA All-Star Weekend is February 16th, so it's that weekend, the 15th, well, 14th, 15th, 16th. So yeah, so that's coming up. We'll have takes after the Super Bowl, after all that shit. We'll start getting into NBA talks and all that. But yeah, let's breathe a sigh of relief. All right, we got that. We got it out of the way.
Big side.
Yeah, like
Big side, okay.
let's move on from the referee talks. Please talk about the game. Talk about what happened. Not just sit here and just be like, well, it's fourth and 1, and that penalty where he caught the touchdown or caught the. Was it a catch? Was it not a catch? Was it pass interference? What was it? Oh, there's a flag on the play. Okay, whatever, guys. Let's start talking about the fucking games, please. Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir got fucking locked up. How about that? I said that too on one of the takes. I was going back and looking, and I was like, I think they're going to have a hard time. Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman, like, they ain't going to be able to do shit. I forgot Amari Cooper was on the fucking team. That's how locked up the receivers was. But
fucking locked.
But we don't talk about that. It's the refs.
Jalen Watson coming back and shit getting real.
And your whole receiving core getting locked up to the point you had a drive where you didn't throw a pass, and it was your most effective drive of the whole game. That's a problem. Fuck the refs. That's a problem. Like, what are we doing? All right. Nice deep breath. Okay. Chiefs is in the Super Bowl, man.
No, I mean, come on now.
It's been 2 years of calling it over and over again. Like, what does it say?
Like, America, people who watching, by the time watching our takes, seem like, do you think we don't lie to you?
Nope.
We don't seem like liars. A lot of our takes really go off as make sense and come true and things on that nature. You don't believe us? Go back and see. We do picks. We do things. You can match it with the time frame and see what we do. But it's just like.
And guess what? We're also wrong about a lot, and that's okay.
We definitely are. And we'll say
also okay. Like, yeah.
We'll definitely say we're wrong.
Texas winning the national championship. That didn't happen. But it's okay.
20 years Heisman. Come on now.
Jalen Daniels, Heisman candidate. Like, it didn't happen.
We do. We think with our heart sometimes too, but we.
It still pisses me off so much that Jalen Daniels decided, like, hey, in the last 6 games of my fucking career here, I'm actually gonna play now.
I'm gonna start getting the fuck off.
Like, what the fuck was that, bro? Just do that the whole season, and I would have felt so much better about my fucking take. But damn.
Yeah, I mean, if he did that. Oh, season, yeah.
He would have been up there. He might not have. He probably still wouldn't have been in that race, but he would have been a lot closer. I would have felt a lot better about our bet. We just canceled the bet. That's how bad both of them was.
Yeah, boy, we kept wrong. We was like, guess what? No,
nobody's doing this.
We're not gonna do this.
They both really bad right now, and somehow Texas still fucking made it as far as they did. That shit crazy. But
I mean, because we Texas. Yeah. I mean, if you want
to fair. We buy basketball players, and that shit's still not going
well.
Yeah,
and you don't want to talk about that right now.
I just watched Cooper Flag and Ace Bailey. I don't know about anything else right now.
Cooper Flag been getting the fuck off, man.
I might have to take my shit back about the Ace Bailey stuff, because the more I watch Ace Bailey...
I was waiting on you to... I didn't want to bring it up, but...
yeah.
I was like, this man called and said he don't know, but I've been watching both of them, and Cooper Flag is really feeling this stat shit. Like, he's just really one of them.
It's because, like, Ace Bailey's like a hooper. And Cooper Flag is like a developed basketball player, like who does everything.
Well, Cooper Flag seems like he'll transition to the NBA quicker.
Yeah,
and better.
Well, it's because he can do everything. Like, he has the footwork. He plays defense.
Right.
Ace Bailey is kind of just like,
hey,
I'm
listen,
just out here
I didn't tell you to make that take that you made. I'm just trying to say.
I know. But hey, that's another example. Hey, you can be wrong. It's cool, bro. Hey, accept it. It becomes more fun. That's the problem. It's more fun when you're wrong and we can just talk about it and not. I imagine if I was like, no, I still believe Ace Bailey can be. He's a better prospect. He's taller. He's more athletic. Like, that would be sick.
Nobody, like, people hate arguing with logic people because it's like when their logic is not, when facts outweigh the logic that they had, it's like, oh wait, I was wrong.
Now I got to create a narrative.
And now it's just like, I can't even argue with him. It was like, well, okay, well. All right. Yeah, you're right.
Yep. Man. But
that's how it is.
I hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll be back next week to actually go through more of the upcoming Super Bowl. But no football this weekend. Good luck to people that don't watch basketball, because it's about to be rough.
Exactly.
I mean that. Yeah. It's going to be rough.
I think the Pro Bowl games and the East-West Shrine game might be coming on.
Shrine game is already over, I think.
Oh, they already did? No, they did the practices, I thought. They was doing practices.
That's probably what I just been seeing
this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I might watch the Shrine game, but to see what receiver we gonna get in the third round.
Boy,
I don't know.
it's
Like,
almost over, guys. Football season is on its way out. Basketball's on its way in, and baseball
and
is
then talk
just
about horrible takes that we about to have. Get ready, y'all, because
basketball is.
yep.
Hey, no, fuck that. I'm totally locked in on basketball, even though it comes on every single night, all night, the rest
I
of the
was
year.
so not tuned in basketball. I had to text you like, when did Houston become the second ranked team in the West? Like, I'm
Yeah.
confused on life right now. Like, isn't Dylan Brooks on that team? Like, I
Yes.
was like, I was so confused on life. I'm like, I watch basketball, but I
Yeah.
never really
Luckily,
understood.
I listen to enough other shows that really talk about basketball
Yeah,
that it keeps
I
me up
don't.
to know what. So I seen a couple Rockets games, so I knew. Yeah, they just running. They young and they running. They getting up and down and they playing defense, and that's why they up there like that. And
I
they
never see. I
couple
really never
shooters.
really catch the West games as much as
Yeah.
the East
See,
because they come on later.
I catch more of the West games because I turn that shit on while I'm going to bed. So I see more of those
Well,
games than anything else.
I mean, yeah, it's on when I go to bed, but I'm definitely not watching it. I'm sleeping
Now
that
see,
motherfucker.
that's when I be locked in.
Like,
I be locked in just like this. Wake up the same way. Huh, fuck. What happened to the rest of the
yeah,
game?
no.
Got to go back, watch
I
the rest of it.
get that East game, that early East game, and that middle
Yep.
West game, the ones that's playing in like Colorado or something.
At
Then that West
7:30 when it yeah.
that right. Then that 10 o'clock, I was like,
I'm
nigga, I
done.
ain't making it.
Yep.
I'm gonna catch the highlights. I
I
see my
catch.
bets hit in the morning. If I
Yep.
get the alert, that means I won.
See,
Like,
I'll make it to like through the first quarter. Sometimes if I stay up a little longer, I'll make it to almost halftime of them West Coast games, and I'm done after that. Then I just watch the highlights when I wake up and figure out what happened after that. But it's like, yeah. So I just sit there
but it's
in
so
bed.
crazy with basketball. You'd be like, oh, okay. My bet should hit. He got 13 and a half.
I hate that
All I
shit.
put him down for 17, over 17 and a half. You wake up like, this nigga has 15. What was he doing for
Just
15 minutes the second half?
cardio, straight cardio.
I'm like, my God didn't want to do shit else.
And
He's
you
like,
just reminded me, football season. I just want to tell people, right? If you have a gambling problem, I don't think I have a gambling problem. I enjoy gambling.
I like the thrill of it.
That sounds like an addiction, but beside the point. I like how it makes me feel. But
Well, it is a good stuff. I mean, shit. I don't get sad when I lose.
No, I
Like
know.
betting thousands of dollars. So it's just
I
like,
want to warn people: football comes on once, twice, 3 times a week. Basketball comes on every single night of the week. Maybe sometimes there's one day there's no basketball during the week. Just whatever you bet on football games and you normally bet through a week during the football season, take
double it.
no 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 fuck
Double
no,
it.
the opposite. Take a fourth of that and spread it out a little bit and just make small bets on basketball because you'll lose. This is the time of year where I start losing everything I made from football because I'm on there thinking, oh, Trae Young's going to get fucking 25 and 10 tonight. Easy. Let me
No.
put a 35 combo on his shit with Jokic to get 40, and all of a sudden you wake up and it's like, wait, Trae Young, like you said, Trae Young got 18 points and 4 assists, and he didn't play the whole second half. What happened? Oh, they was up
Yeah,
30.
because they was up 30.
Yeah,
This
so he
is
just didn't
exactly what's
play.
about to happen tonight. Like, I need Mobley to get fucking 20. He got 16, but they up 30.
Yep.
So
Shit.
it's like, oh, fuck. Like,
I'm so glad I got the
good
Cavs
thing I got him
minus
to get a
4.
double-double.
Thank you for telling me that because I had the Cavs minus 5. Minus 5. Yep. Woo-hoo. I don't know. I have every game bet, so I'll probably lose that. But all right. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you, and we will see you next week.
Peace.